Hey there! In today's video, we're going to be installing this Kwikset door handle. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Josh. This channel is all about building your own house and a ton of money, so be sure to subscribe. Ring that bell so you get a notification every time we release a new video. Hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. We don't have too much time to waste today, so let's get started. So the first step of installing any door handle is opening the box and seeing what you got to work with. When you first open the box, you're going to notice that the handles are attached using these plastic pieces, so you'll have to remove those in order to get to the handle and the lock and the this handle here. And then if you put that to the side. All right, so let's open this box of hardware and see what we got. It looks like we got our deadbolt piece that we turn to shut the latch for the deadbolt. We got our actual latch for the deadbolt that looks like you can twist it to make it go from 3/8 to 3/4 pretty easy. Looks like we got a spacer. This looks like it's for the deadbolt here. Looks like we got the door latch, and it looks like to adjust this from 3/4 to 3/8, you simply lift up on this pin, slide it over to 3/4. So lift up on the pin, push it back shut, and that puts us back at 3/8, which most doors are going to be 3/8. We got the plate that goes on the door jamb for the deadbolt. We got some hardware screws. We got screws for the deadbolt here. Looks like a handle for the inside of the door, it looks like. Looks like the actual strike plate for the door latch. Some more screws. This looks like it's going to be for the actual door handle. Some screws, some more screws there. This looks like the little button that goes on the inside for our handle. The bottom of the handle of this piece here is going to be attached through the door with this. And looks like we got our smart key, little piece of metal used to reset the locks. We got our door keys, don't lose these. And looks like we got some more screws and an Allen wrench. The two tools I recommend using is a drill with a 1/4" drill bit and an impact driver or screwdriver with a number 2 Phillips bit on it. So the first thing we're going to do is install the latches, so let's turn over to the door. The first screws you'll need are the 4 that have the finer threads up top and the coarser threads at the bottom, because those are going to be for anchoring your latch and your deadbolt latch into place. So first thing you need to do is locate your deadbolt latch, and this says up on it, and we're set at 3/8 offset. So we go ahead and slide that into the door, and that sets nicely. And then your latch, you're going to put the part that has an angle on it facing towards where the strike plate's going to be, which is that way towards the jamb. We're going to slide that into place, and then take those 4 screws, and we're going to put those right into the pre-drilled holes in the latches. Now it's time to install the deadbolt. Just take the lock piece, and it's going to slide into this housing that it came with. You're going to twist the lock to where it's going to be sitting as if it was already installed. You're going to hold that into place and then flip it upside down, and then you have this other metal piece it came with. It's like a metal circle. You'll notice it if you take note of what it looks like here. You'll find it in your packaging, and just slide it over the actual locking mechanism, and it's going to create kind of like a housing. Try to keep all that together and slide it into your deadbolt hole. It's going to be the upper one, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. So the first thing we're going to do is take this silver metal piece that it came with. We're going to slide it into where there's a little slot in the bottom of it. Put that slot down, and then we're going to take the mechanism and slide over that, and then try to line these holes up the best you can. And then you're going to use these longer bolts with the threaded end that doesn't have any threading here at the first inch or so. And we're going to slide those in through the hole right here in the face of it. And sometimes you got to mess with it to get everything to line up, but it's definitely doable. And then go ahead and just hand tighten that screw, and then slide your other one through, And do the same with that one. And now just take your number 2 Phillips bit and tighten those up. And after that's tightened up, make sure the deadbolt works. In order to install this handle, we must drill for a hole that goes in the bottom of it that secures it onto the door. So there's a couple ways of figuring out where to get that hole. It comes with a template, and what you do with this template, you just tape it on the edge and line it up with your deadbolt in your doorknob hole, and then it gives you the exact measurement down to that mark, which is a great way of doing it. I like to do it a little different way if I can. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and put this handle in the door where I need it, and then the hole down here for where the screw goes, I'll just mark that and then drill it out. I feel like it's a little easier sometimes, but do whatever you feel is comfortable. And something else I want to show you special about this handle, right now, if you look at it up close, this piece is turned the wrong way to fit inside of this latch. To turn it, all you got to do is pull up on it and twist, and now it's going to be positioned so we can fit it inside this door latch. So let's go ahead and hold it up to where it goes. So as you can see, we got it about square right there. All right, so I'm holding the door handle where I want it, and now I'm just going to take a pen or a pencil, slide it into that screw hole and mark it. And another thing you can do is use a nail or something to slide it in to scratch it, to leave a mark that way. And we got a nice little place. We know where to drill, so let me hold my finger so I don't lose track. And then take my 1/4 inch drill bit and drill square. Try to drill straight right through that mark. There we go. So now we can go ahead and install this. So we can put this back into where it needs to be and hold it into place. And now what we need, now we got to use this, and what this does is going to go from inside of the door and then come out through the handle and attach it to the actual door slab. All right, so I'm going to take that piece and come in from the back side of the door, slide it into that hole, and I'll show you this here in a minute from what it looks like from behind, but until then, I'm going to slide this handle right where we need it, kind of hold it all into place, and just use the screw that just came with the threaded ends that are not sharp to go in the wood, and then tighten it up. And this is where you got to use your number 2 Phillips bit. All right, and you heard that draw down really tight, so it's already on there really snug, but we're going to install the lever on the other side of the door. So on the other side of the door, you're going to have that button look from the piece we slid in for the sleeve to attach that side of the handle, and that's what the screw looks like in the bottom. So in order to install this handle, what we got to do is take the Allen wrench and loosen up the Allen screw on the side of the handle, and when you loosen that up, it's actually going to drop this handle off the piece. And then what we're going to do is pull on this white tab. That's going to take the little trim off of it and get rid of that paper. So we're just going to have this piece that's left. Then we take those screws, line this up into the hole, and now we're going to just tighten these screws up into the door handle. All right, so after those are hand tightened, just go ahead and turn that to where it's kind of locked into place, and now just tighten those up. So now just take your trim piece, slide it over it to cover up those screws, and then your handle to slide it back onto the door, and then tighten up that Allen screw using the little Allen wrench it came with. All right, and just make sure everything works, feels really good. Okay, now it's time to install the strike plate. So in order to do that, you just put this end here that's kind of curved, slide it to where the door jamb edge is. Then use the 2 smaller screws that are left and put those through the strike plate and into the jamb. So now it's time to install the deadbolt plate here. And in order to do that, we're going to have to mill out a little more of this deadbolt pre-milled slot. These things are a little extra big compared to what's milled out. So what I do, I go ahead and just line that up in the center of the place where the deadbolt's going to go into, and hold it with my fingers and take a pencil, just kind of trace around it. And then what I do is take my utility knife, and then I'll go ahead and just start tracing around that pencil mark with my utility knife. And then after I do that, I just take a chisel and chisel it out. All right, so that fit in there really nice. And what I like to do is pre-drill these holes into the jamb because these are pretty big screws that go in here. And now to finish it, we just put the 2 smaller threaded screws into the remaining holes. So now for the moment of truth. Let's go ahead and shut the door. Shuts nicely, and let's make sure the deadbolt works. Works very well. Awesome. Now we're safe and secure in our home. Only parts we have left over is this handle. That's if you want the curve a different way, you would put this one on instead of the one we installed earlier. And this little metal piece is for the smart key technology. I'm going to be making a video on how to do this so you can key all the doors in your house to the same key. So be sure to subscribe to catch that video. And if you need to buy any Kwikset door handle or doorknob, be sure to check the link to my Amazon store in the description below. It's going to have some doorknobs you might be interested in and a bunch of other things as well. And I do get a small commission from Amazon, but it's no extra cost to you. All right, guys, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.